Hey Rav family and War Room Posse. Mark your calendar. September 12th and 13th, the Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws Tour is coming to the America First Warehouse.
I have never seen anything like this.
2 unforgettable days filled with Patriots, barbecue, and live shows straight from the most amazing place, the America First Warehouse. Get ready for a special guest to be announced, plus a 3-hour live episode of Studio 6B.
And we're just going to go do it.
On the 12th, Steve Bannon will host War Room Live at 5 p.m. And Steve will be back again on the 13th. Woo! Followed by 1 hour with Peter Navarro.
I went to prison, so you won't have to.
The Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws Tour, September 12th and 13th at the America First Warehouse. Scan the QR code to see pricing and availability. Don't miss this opportunity. Tickets won't last. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, it is live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice. My ear's working here. On a Tuesday night, September 9th, 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick's here. He's doing sports. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to have the headline news. Vinnie Mac joins us from our West Palm studio. He'll have some thoughts and some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Glad you're in wherever you're watching. If you're watching on social media, we appreciate that as well. Make sure you hit the like, follow, subscribe, and get into the chat. We love to chat. Get in there. Any engagement is always appreciated. We appreciate that. So, Slick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Good day. We took Prince the Toucan to the vet. His little broken leg is now healing, so we're very happy about that. So it was good news. He's slowly but surely, rehabbing at home, and should be back on the field soon.
All right,
I'll be
very
out
good.
with the odds makers.
What's anything big? Any big news today in sports coming up or anything?
Well, apparently Tiger Woods was spotted hitting a few balls
Really?
today. Yeah, maybe a possibility of a comeback starting up again. We'll
Heading
see.
to the senior store? Or what?
Well, I don't know.
No, he
And
says he won't play that.
Yeah, no, I
He
don't
says he
think
won't play it.
No, he's 49 now. You know?
I don't know what's he going to do. Come 50, he's never going to play golf again.
Well, he could start the RAV tour.
Yeah.
Maybe get that kicked off.
How about the AMAC tour?
I'm talking to Slick, just
Right,
so you know.
Big
Your
D?
introduction comes next.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, orbit somewhere else.
What'd you say, Slick?
AMAC
in alphabetical
tour. How
order.
about the AMAC tour? Right? Yeah, be nice for him.
Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
Oh, hey! How are you, Damon?
I'm good. How are
I didn't
you?
even saw me here. It's like
How was your day?
my day was great.
What'd you do?
I was online. First,
You
I
look
had
good
to
in that
take
shirt, by the way.
First, I had to take Mom all around to her doctor's appointment. She's getting some eye surgery.
You look good in that shirt, by the way,
Oh,
I said.
Thank you.
Your arms look good.
Oh,
Thank you. Well, if you look at the little symbolism here, it almost looks space-ish, right?
Yeah,
Almost.
a little bit.
Well, there was a big
You,
UFO hearing.
Are you on the juice or anything? Or are you...
No.
No, you're not? Okay. Well, your arms just seem like they're getting bigger, like unnaturally bigger. Like quick. Like they look
I can relate to that.
I actually haven't been to the gym since Friday.
Okay. All right, well, you look great.
Just skip the gym more often.
So what else did you do today? Did you know that I did a stream this morning?
I did not know that.
It was a members-only stream on YouTube. Do you know what it was entitled?
Nope.
It was entitled The Delgado Special Tinfoil Hat.
Oh,
I streamed and watched the entire
did you?
UFO nonsense.
Oh, he's filled in.
Nonsense. You mean the hearing on the on all the technology that's been that we have hidden from the American people?
I didn't hear that, but yes, I watched
That's what I
it all.
heard. I heard
Okay.
Lockheed Martin was actually specifically named.
I did hear that, yes.
What else did you
And they
hear?
had some footage, too.
Yeah, they
That
did.
they're trying to tell us is, I don't know.
Was a Tomahawk missile that got deflected by a UFO.
It was a Hellfire missile
Hellfire. Yeah.
that was not deflected by a UFO.
Oh no. What was? it?
Not in my opinion, but we'll show you the footage and we'll decide. We can decide all together.
All right.
All right, good. Vinnie Mac,
that's
how are
good.
you?
Yeah, that went a long way, by the way. Good job, guys. Good job.
What went a long
You-
way?
Yeah.
This conversation about UFOs, you solved some big problems there.
Did you watch the? Did you watch the thing? No, of course not. You were down there, doing at the beach, decompressing or
Yes,
something?
Decompressing.
Yeah, I was down here pondering a very, very important thing. I'm walking the streets here in West Palm thinking, how did he do that? And that is the new photo that Damon posted the other day. Your new profile picture. Yeah, I'm pondering, wow.
Yeah,
wait a second now. I know that guy. What a handsome guy.
Thank you.
A svelte guy.
Thank you very much.
Very young.
Yeah. Yeah. And I didn't notice an ounce of Botox in anything that you had in that picture. Not 1 ounce of Botox.
I've never done Botox ever in my life. Never.
No, it
And I
doesn't
never
look like
would.
that in that picture at all. No, I couldn't tell.
And by the way,
you look
if
great in that picture.
If I wanted to, as you know, Vin, I have
Yeah.
somebody great who I could go to.
You do, one of the best.
Thank
I
you
know.
very
Your
much.
doctor friend is awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
he's awesome. But you looked amazing in that picture. You looked svelte. You looked like a model. I thought I was ready to say, well, how much is the shirt? I was going to order it. I mean, you looked great.
I ordered you one. Which now
You
I'm
ordered
not going
me
to
what?
give you.
You ordered me a shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you looked great.
Thank you.
Everybody commented on it, how great you look, and you look good all the time. I'm just saying, this particular photo,
Thank you.
you looked
wants
even
that
better.
t-shirt.
That's what he was saying.
Thank you, Vin. Thank you very much. I'll still give you your shirt when I see you. Hopefully I'll have it for
Thank
Friday.
you.
I don't know, though.
Well, you better bring that. I want to wear that shirt for the show on Friday.
Yes. By the way,
And I'm a
Friday.
medium.
I mean, if you don't have tickets for Friday, I think it's lights out now. I think for Friday night, I don't think you can get them. Aaron, is that your understanding? That's sold out?
They are almost sold out. There's very few tickets left. I spoke with the warehouse today. There is really not a lot left.
Okay,
So if you want them, you got to get them now because they will not make it to Friday.
Not getting in at the door.
Nope. No way.
No, you're definitely not getting in at the
No
door.
ticky, no showy.
Yeah, no ticket, no picket, or whatever. So you ain't getting in. So scan the QR code now if you're even thinking about coming, especially if you're in the area. What's
Come on.
today? It's Tuesday. Well, we're not on
gotta
the radio
come.
tonight, but if you're in the area within driving distance, you're thinking about coming, you got to get the tickets now because they're just about gone. So Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws. Friday night, 5 to 7, War Room. 7 to 8, Meet and Greet. 8 to 11, we'll take the stage around 7:50 after Harry on the Highway takes the stage. That's always exciting.
Yikes.
He's been rehearsing all week.
And then we'll take the stage from 8 to 11. 11!
Hello.
3 hours,
Man,
baby.
I better have some coffee or something. I could fall asleep at 10, between 10. I'm usually sleeping by about 10:30.
Dude, you're falling asleep at 8:15.
Usually I said to Delgado at the first break, man, I'm tired. Yeah, so. All right. Well, it's exciting. I'm excited about the weekend, and it'll be a fun couple days. I'm going to go over on Saturday too.
Oh,
probably bring some merch with
What
me if
time
I
you
can.
going
And-
Saturday? What time are you going to?
Well, I think the festivities start at 10 in the morning. I'm going to be there to watch Steve, 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Now, do we have to have tickets for Saturday?
You have to have I don't know. Do we get in?
Harry's going to have a pass.
What happened?
We can get in Saturday, right? Without
Passes.
tickets, us? I would
You guys,
figure.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Can we get
Because
in
you are
Friday
Rav's
without
staff.
tickets?
Yeah, you
So Friday
No,
you need
you're going to be
tickets,
kicked
no
out.
Okay.
You better
wanna
have a
make
ticket,
sure.
Rick.
Friday, you need
Someday you
tickets.
can.
Friday, you need tickets or at least a hat wrapped in tinfoil, something.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Vin,
Yeah.
I guess I have to start here, and you haven't been a part of the show the last couple of days since the weekend. And today we talked a lot about this. I opened the show with it last night. We talked a lot about this. I don't know, this absolute total disaster that happened with this poor girl in North Carolina on the train. And today we got really almost the full video, and it brings up every emotion that you could possibly dream of if you can stomach watching it. You feel rage, anger, sadness, and I'm sure there's others that I can't think of right now, but you run the gamut of emotions of this poor girl with this absolute lunatic subhuman, what he does to her, and then the aftermath is unlike anything I think I've ever seen, other than maybe in New York City, the poor woman who was also minding her own business or whatever the issue was, who was lit on fire.
Yeah.
It's one of the more gruesome, but somehow, I mean, they're both obviously, beyond description horrible. But this one, when this poor girl gets stabbed, the look on her face, number one, then the reaction of the people around her, which was really no reaction, to the covering of her face and then glancing to the woman to her right. And you can just see that she's hoping for some kind of compassionate it's so hard to describe it. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about because some of you have probably seen it. But just this look of hoping somebody will have some kind of sense to come over to her. And it was about a minute, 40 seconds before someone did, and she was bleeding out, and then not too long after that, dead on the floor. Mm-hmm. The reaction of our fellow citizens on that train is appalling, is enraging, appalling, disgusting. It's almost, I don't know. I'm just speaking for me, and maybe these things sound stupid.
You know
it's
what?
almost as enraging as the actual incident itself.
Yeah.
It's hard to separate. Now that we've seen it all, it's hard to separate the two parts of the story.
Yeah.
Oh, because the act itself, horrific, like you said. Every adjective you use describes it perfectly, and there's so many more that you can throw in there as well. But you make the point, and I noticed it as well, that nobody did a damn thing. Nobody got up. And I'm sorry.
There was one good Samaritan at the end who had come over, so we should recognize that person, whoever it was. Took his shirt off to try to do something.
But he wasn't even next to her. He was all the way on the other side of the train.
Yeah.
It's sad what our society seems to be okay with.
There's a picture. I mean, can't see the full thing in context, but I can see enough to know that at this point, this poor girl is almost dead on the ground. There's blood everywhere. And there, if you look at the right side of the picture, there is two hands holding a cell phone that I don't know if she's standing, sitting, because you can't see the person. I don't know. It is undescribable.
Yeah.
And to think for 1 second you put anybody you know, or God forbid your own daughter, in that situation, you would spend the rest of your life making sure not only him, that son of a bitch needs to be skinned alive in public, but besides him, every other person involved, the other people on that train, the officials, the judge, the governor, the mayor, anybody associated with this should, you would just spend the rest of your life making sure that whatever price they could all pay, they should pay, because that's how disgusting it is. Vin, I'll get your thoughts when we get back. Let's take the break, 13 past the hour. Live from Studio 6B.
Befitting of.
Interesting comment in social media that now the Democrats are going to try and ban knives. You know, this is their solution. Saying hi to everybody in Facebook chat out there. Sherry Merrill. I was thinking of wearing your shirt again, Sherry Merrill. Maybe Thursday night. Got such good reviews, by the way. Even Delgado liked it. I felt like, that's good.
No, dude, I have terrible taste. What are you kidding?
What was that you were mumbling?
I have terrible taste. I mean, I like what Slick wears.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like what Slick wears, man.
See, we
He
all have
pulls
terrible
off
taste.
He has a great an ensemble of clothes. I mean, wow. And you know the thing is with Slick's outfits, I don't see many repeated. He's got Slick. How many do you have? Seriously, how many?
You know,
15, I guess.
No, I have no. I
Stop with your silliness.
No, I have about 70 suits, but
He'll get through 15 in a week.
I rotate about, but I like a certain, of the 70, I really love like 35, 40. So I kind of rotate those through,
Right.
For the
so maybe
month.
maybe once a month.
Man,
That's a serious
And
collection.
do you ever flip?
rarely once a month.
Do you ever flip? Say, I'm going to wear this jacket with these pants.
No.
And this shirt I've never used.
All my jackets, 95% of my jackets match my pants. I'm not a big sports jacket guy. I mean, I like sports jackets, but I like a complete fit, top to bottom. I don't like plain pants that much.
On the
Looks
other,
nice
on the
guys.
other hand, Delgado's got like 5 shirts,
Right.
and that's it.
And I rotate
Yeah.
them. I got my Thursday shirt. I have my Friday shirt. I have 2 of these.
You do?
One
Yeah, you look good in
you
a
do
suit.
have
I
your
saw you
Thursday
once.
shirts.
I saw you once in a suit. You look good. Good shape.
course I look
You
good.
look sharp.
Come on, stop.
Of
Without
course,
saying.
I look good. Man, yeah.
Welcome to the party there, Aaron. I knew you could be counted on to slam me. Sweet.
Rick has a walk-in
8H,
bedroom
baby.
closet. Jesus Perez is right. I do have a walk-in bedroom closet. Correct.
8H. Howdy do.
It's 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday, September 9th. Slick's here. He's going to do some sports. Delgado will have the headlines, and I'm sure a lot of UFO stuff tonight. Aaron and Fran. But Vin is in our West Palm studio, and Vin, you haven't been on the show as we've been talking about this for the last couple of days. So I guess I'll give you some time here to not only respond to what we just talked about, but I guess go back to when you first saw this and just what your whole thoughts on the whole thing.
Well, first off, I couldn't watch the full video today. I mean, I just couldn't get through it. Not only does my heart break for this young lady, and her family and so on, but my heart breaks for all of these innocent people that are just going about their day and attacked. The woman in New York, there's countless examples of people just indiscriminately attacked. It seems to be commonplace. This one is at one of the highest levels of just horrific. And I don't care if this guy's black. I don't care if he's white. The media does. I don't care. They clearly do because they tried to throw that Daniel Penny under the bus. And this guy, for some reason, they're having, I don't want to say empathy, but they're not covering the story. But here is the culpable ones. The no-bail policies, the progressives and the liberals and the left have pushed, they have consequences. This is one of them. I've said this many times on the show about the illegals out there, the criminals that are out there doing stuff, and it applies to this case. Isn't one life enough? I mean, at what point are we going to look at countrywide these no bail laws that are allowing people like this perpetrator, this killer, this savage, this heartless, gutless fool who went and just stabbed indiscriminately this young lady? He should have been in jail. He should have been incarcerated. This is a consequence of political malpractice. It's a practice of. It's also a result of judges' malpractice. It's a result of an entire party's malpractice. They are putting all of our lives in danger. And the fact that I've got a daughter that's probably a similar age, yeah, this stuff hits home. But it hits home no matter who it is, a senior citizen, a young lady of any color. It just doesn't matter. This is something that I don't even want to use the word wake-up call. This is just wrong. These no bail laws. How many times do we have to see something like this? And thank goodness Trump steps in and they made it a federal crime. That's how you get around all these dumbass no bail rules. You make it a federal crime. Now he's actually going to serve the time. They've arrested him, and that should be the end of it. But the entire matter is it's just hard to watch, and I just couldn't do it, and I even thinking about what had happened, makes me emotional because I can only think about all of these innocent people. And then the last thing I'll say is the apathy of our society. What the heck has happened? That's why Daniel Pearl was so special. He didn't have apathy. He got up and he dealt with it. And look what they tried to do to him. Other people there taking cell phone video and standing there. Yes, someone did go to help. Everybody should have gone to help. This is just, I don't even have a word to say how appalling the behavior of our fellow humans are, but apathy, cell phones. How many times have you seen someone in a fight in some of these videos they're showing, someone gets knocked out? Everybody's just watching and making videos. Remember that thing in Cincinnati? And all of these other incidents? This apathy, they're as guilty as the perpetrator in my book. People need to start being held accountable. Judges, politicians, mayors, governors, and people standing around and watching. You do nothing? I mean, there's a problem with that. So, that's makes me so angry, and it also makes me, tear up because of what happened to this young lady, I
saw Mike Benz, I think it was. I don't know. There's a bunch of these ideas I'm sure are going to get floated around. None of them will probably amount to anything, especially as I said yesterday, Vin, I understand what you're saying, and there's a lot of liberal places that do this, but unfortunately, there's too many red states that want to champion this depopulation, de-incarceration stuff too in these red states. Do you know DeSantis in Florida had 3 jailbreak bills come to his desk that he vetoed all 3 bills that were going to look at, letting guys out of jail for whatever. And it's happening in all, it's not just happening on the left. It's happening a lot more there, yes. And it's happening, other things are happening where it's in the front door, out the back. But there's too many red states where these governors are championing these de-incarceration, jailbreak, man, it's not that serious. Maybe we let them out. Or maybe, what? And it's happening everywhere. So I hear what you're saying, but, you think about the days of Giuliani as the mayor of New York City. You think about how tough we were. You think about...
Yeah.
I mean, we're so far from those days.
Mm-hmm. We sure
it has been a lonely 15 whatever years to think back on what Giuliani was doing in the city and the way cops were acting back then.
Yeah,
broken windows and all. You think of all the things that they were doing to fight crime, the things you have to do. We need to get back.
Think
to
about
that.
9/11. Think about 9/11. Never forget. We're assaulted and killed by terrorists that hate our way of life. And what are we doing today? We're embracing Hamas. We're embracing what happened. We're not, but parts of our society are. People that went in and just ravaged and killed in a savage way, a couple of thousand Israelis. I mean, remember 9/11, don't go too far back. And that's, I think the anniversary is Thursday for 9/11. Yeah. But man, between then and now, the Giuliani factor that you said, and the society has just gone upside down. And I do blame the left. They have pushed through this stuff, even though we have some red states with that, and shame on them. And frankly, they should all be culpable too. But I do blame the left. They have pushed this insanity and made it mainstream.
Yeah, well, you know what? First off, Damon, I've got bad news for you. It wasn't 15 years ago. It was 24 for Giuliani. And, when you talk about the right and the left, they held hands for all this crap. If you remember in the mid-2000s, the right and the left, they were one and the same. They've been one and the same for a long time on a lot of these policies. It's just that the left is very outspoken about it. They love to do it. And like Damon's pointed out, there's a lot of red states, looking at these, trying to release people as well. They just do it a little more quietly, but they're still doing it. And when you look at the fact that I think the most disgusting part now I'm seeing on a daily basis, and is becoming more so, is more and more from the media. The media trying to elevate this guy. He was sick. He's mental. He had mental problems. You have mental problems if you support this. That's the problem with the left, is they have mental problems. They have now made it okay for crazy people to walk around like normal when it was never like that. Remember, they used to have insane asylums for a reason, for the criminally insane. This guy was criminally insane. His mother even said he shouldn't be out. He's schizophrenic. What'd they do? The politicians and the judges and the prosecutors all held hands, and they showed him the door. Here you go, sir. Go out and mug and kill again. And when you talk about the policies of Giuliani, the broken windows policies, it was stuff like his first 14 offenses that would have made it so this girl wouldn't have been stabbed. If you remember, he said we stopped the turnstile jumpers, anybody who's doing anything that's a minor crime, because chances are they're on their way to do something worse, or they're basically laying the groundwork to become a bigger criminal down the road. And that's what the big takeaway was from the broken windows policies, is you're stopping them before they get to that point.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. A lot of news to go over tonight as well. What's going on in Poland? We'll talk about that. President Trump out in D.C. tonight. We'll talk about that. Hearing on vaccines today. We'll try to get to some of that. We'll get to the UAP hearing as well. Lots to get to on a busy Tuesday night live from Studio 6B.
Chat live in the chat.
Interesting comment, Delgado. Curious to hear what you think about this.
Where's this?
From Kathy Peliquin. She said that, hey, there are a lot of people in prison that are over-sentenced. And I think we can all agree to that. There are people that have committed crimes that sometimes the sentencing is just way too extreme. And then there are people like this that have no bail and are constantly out there. It's like we do need to sentence people to crime. We also need to be aware of the over-sentencing, but the no sentencing.
Yeah, the no sentencing is a problem.
Is a bigger deal. Yeah.
Much bigger problem.
Yeah.
And there's also the Soros factor of all these DAs that were sponsored by this scumbag to do this sort of thing. This is not by accident. This is all by design.
It's hard for good, common, decent people. I believe what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying, but it's hard for good, common, decent people to think that's possible, that people would think this way from a purposeful level, meaning judges and lawyers and politicians. But
as long as you can agree evil exists, then it's easy to go, oh yeah, I could see how this could happen.
Yeah,
right?
Fair point. Fair and accurate point. Totally.
Over-sentencing is quite subjective. Quite a subjective term.
Yeah.
In federal, state, what are we talking about?
Right. Plus, you'll have to say, well, who's saying they're over-sentenced? Well, the criminal's always going to say they're over-sentenced. The family of the criminal's always going to say they're over-sentenced. The victims might be like, hey, that guy didn't get enough time.
Very, very true. Very fair.
I know, that's why I said
there's a lot of judicial discretion when it comes to that, too.
You can make an argument for some of that, but you cannot make an argument, a zero, or no bail, and repeat offenders, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. There's no logical explanation to that. None. Zero.
Troy Malone in the YouTube. Delgado, bring on that UFO. Bring on the Allen videos.
No UFOs. Sure.
Okay.
The audience wants to know.
About UFOs?
Yeah.
September 11th, 2001. A day that changed America forever. Nearly a quarter century later, the memories remain vivid and the loss still felt deeply. Real America's Voice presents a powerful special, 9/11. 24 years later, America still mourns. Join David Zier, host of Breaking Point, for 2 exclusive conversations. First with Richard Rotans, who led New York's emergency response during those dark hours. And then a candid interview with former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, reflecting on leadership, courage, and the enduring impact of that tragic day. 2 voices, one nation still healing, and a reminder we must never forget. Don't miss 9/11. 24 years later, America still mourns. Only on Real America's Voice.
All right, 31 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in wherever you're watching. Slick's going to do sports right now. Rick Delgado's going to do the news. Vinnie Mac's going to have some thoughts on the news. A lot of news to get to. What's going on around the world tonight? Lots of news. Some of it unconfirmed, but we'll tell you what's going on. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Friday night, we'll be live at the America First Warehouse for the Rogues, Rebels, and Outlaws tour. Steve Bannon coming to town. Friday night, doors open at 4. War Room 5 to 7. Meet and greet 7 to 8. 8 to 11, live from Studio 6B. It's going to be a fun Friday night. And then back on Saturday for War Room in the morning, 10 to 12. And then you got a couple specials, 12 to 1 and then 2 to 4. So all day on Saturday at the America First Warehouse, all weekend really. Friday, Saturday, it's going to be great. If you don't have tickets already, I mean, you're almost out of luck, but you can maybe get a couple stragglers in there if you want to scan that QR code. There may be a few left for Saturday.
You sit with Harry.
Nothing left for Friday. What'd you say?
You'd sit with Harry.
Yeah, you can sit with Harry on Friday night. And Saturday, I think you still can get some tickets, but Friday's almost gone. So, all right, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you want to shop at MyPillow. This is a good month to do it. We may keep it going, too, because we're giving away our free Friday Night Warehouse T-shirt, as a matter of fact, for anybody who uses LFS6B at checkout this month. Just send your receipts into LFS6B at yahoo.com and then tell Aaron what size shirt you want. We'll send it out. And I'm going to have some hopefully for the audience on Friday, have some goodies to give out on Friday night. So, Slick, what's going on in sports?
Let's not forget, too, we got odds makers on Friday night, and I just want to recap the end of odds makers for week 1 with last night's game. Yep. Vikings come back and beat the Bears 27-24. Aaron and I did cover with the win last night, so Aaron ended up at 4-2 for the week. I was 2-4, so I'm on the flip side, but looking to make a big comeback this week. But great game. J.J. McCarthy, he had 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, and 1 rushing in the fourth quarter. So what a turnaround that really was. I thought they were dead in the water. Chicago looked like they were going to roll right over them. The game was going to be over by mid to late third quarter, and boy, next thing you know, they came roaring back, the Vikings. So good game there, and that was the recap on that. To the scoreboard we go. Major League Baseball pennant race on the move here. We only got about 3 weeks left in the season, and the Pirates trail the Cubs 2-1, bottom of the 8th. Top of the 9th, Guardians blanking the Royals 2-zip there. Nationals 7-1 over the Marlins, top of the 7th. Phillies lead the Mets 4-1, top of the 7th. Mets have gone on a little bit of a slide lately. Oh boy, Frank the Tank is.
Frank's not having a good night tonight.
Forget about it. He's got to be upset. Yankees and Tigers tied at 2 in the Bronx, top of the 6th there. We got the Astros 2-0 over the Blue Jays, bottom 5. Also bottom 5, Cubs over the Braves 2-1, top of the 4th. Rays lead the White Sox 3-1 in South Chicago. Brewers and Rangers, no score, top of the 2nd. 9:38, Twins at the Angels. And then, the Reds. Reds at San Diego, 9:40 first pitch. I watched that game last night. They're up 3-0 in the 6th. When I left the set, what do you know? They blew it 4-3 on a walk-off sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 10th. Unbelievable. Diamondbacks at the Giants. Giants starting to make a move, too, on the Mets. They're looking good. 9:45 first pitch. 10:05, we have the Red Sox taking on the Athletics, who are pretty much mailing in the season before they head to Vegas for a whole new life. And Rockies at the Dodgers. Dodgers looking good as well. 10:10 first pitch. And, well, we got a lawsuit going on now. I'm not sure if you guys heard this, broke about 2 hours ago. California girls high school volleyball players file a lawsuit over transgender teammate, Jackson Thompson of Fox News. 3 young women in Southern California are filing a lawsuit against the California Interscholastic Federation, the CIF, the California Department of Education, and the Jurupa Unified School District over the inclusion of a biological male transgender athlete on the Jurupa Valley High School girls volleyball team. The lawsuit, which was filed on Tuesday in the United States District Court for the Central District of California, alleged the plaintiffs have suffered sex discrimination, including sexual harassment, unsafe and unfair athletic environments, viewpoint discrimination, and infringements on their religious liberty and safety as a result of Jurupa rostering the trans athlete. The plaintiffs are being represented by the law firm of Advocates for Faith and Freedom. The lawsuit alleged that Hazma and Alyssa McPherson were recently removed from the team group chat after telling their coach they were uncomfortable sharing volleyball court and locker room with a male student. The plaintiffs also claim that the school's practices have violated the girls' religious liberties. Plaintiffs have been intimidated by an intentionally hostile environment created by defendants wherein they were bullied by school officials to censor their objections to competing with and against a male and to sharing intimate and private spaces with a male, the lawsuit reads. The McPherson family, also identified as practicing Catholics, claim to believe that God created human beings as a male and female and that gender is a fixed characteristic that cannot be changed. Their faith informs that their understanding of human identity and shapes their views regarding the importance of recognizing and honoring the distinctives of male and female as created by God, per court documents. Meanwhile, Hazma and her family identify as practicing Muslims whose religious obligations prevent HH from exposing her hair or body to males, including by wearing a hijab guided by Islamic teachings. They believe that men and women have distinct biological differences, very similar to the Catholic faith. So, therefore, they have a lawsuit going on right now. It was just filed a couple of hours ago. We'll have to see how this plays out. But they were bullied by the school. No surprise there. But they took them out of the group chat because they could. No, freedom of speech there. It sounds like it was violated a little bit, no?
Well, and you know what, girls, if you're listening, you're probably not because you're off doing some cool girl stuff. Yeah. But if somebody who knows them, let them know this. You girls control that team. If there are no girls on that team, there is no team. Yeah. Do you catch what I'm saying? If you stand together as one and say it's either him or us, they're going to have to make a decision. Do they want to field a team of one and forfeit every game, or will they actually field a girls' volleyball team?
Yep.
That's how you control this game. Yep. It's as simple as that. That's how you bully the bullies. You push them back, and you push them back hard.
Yep. The young man's name was A.B. Hernandez. A.B. should stand for a boy.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Anyway, that's a wrap in sports. Big T, back to you.
Okay, Slick, very good. 37 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. So let's get to what is really the breaking news right now, and that is what's going on over Poland.
Right.
Tim Pool right now, he's live. NATO scrambles Air Force over Russian incursion into Poland. High alert reported. U.S. F-35 squawking emergency code over Poland, linking with a tanker. U.S. Air Force F-35A Lightning II has been reportedly appeared on flight radar over eastern Poland, squawking 7600 loss of communication emergency code, and is reportedly linking with the Dutch A330 tanker for aerial refueling. Previously unconfirmed claims include Russian drones entering Poland, Moldova, and Slovakia airspace, with multiple shootdowns reported, monitoring for any official military government statements. This is from Mario Newfold on X tonight. Again, Tim Pool also is live right now. NATO scramble Air Force over Russian incursion into Poland. High alert reported. I'm just looking to try to get as much of this as I can in real time, because a lot of this is happening right now. Right. Representative Joe Wilson, a ranking member on the House Intelligence Committee on Armed Services, states that, quote, Russia is attacking NATO ally Poland with Iranian drones less than a week after President Trump hosted President Noraki at the White House. This is an act of war, and we are grateful to NATO allies for their swift response to war criminal Putin's continued unprovoked aggression against free and productive nations. That is from Representative Joe Wilson tonight. That's out on X. So that's fairly new from about 8 minutes ago. Moldin International Airport in the Polish capital of Warsaw is now also closed due to unplanned military activity related to ensuring state security. Both major airports in Warsaw are now under no-fly zones.
Yeah, and over Reznow Airport in eastern Poland, it remains closed amid reports of the unconfirmed Russian drone activity. At least 3 Shahed attack drones allegedly shot down within minutes, according to reports. Also, drones are reportedly heading towards strategic cities nearby. The Ukrainian Air Force warned earlier that Russian drones had entered Polish airspace and were heading west, threatening Reznow and Zamsek, according to statements posted on Telegram, reported by the Ukraine media. In response, Reuters reported that Polish and Allied aircraft were activated earlier today to secure Poland's airspace. Poland's operational command issued its first official statement confirming that Polish and Allied aircraft are operating in our airspace while ground-based air defense and radar reconnaissance systems have been brought to the highest state of readiness. So that's what we have right now, along with what you had there reported on X as well, Damon.
Yeah, none of this seems normal.
No. It's very odd.
It could be a test. It could be a test, Putin seeing, let's just see if the defenses are in line. Let's just see if they're paying attention.
Yeah, but you know
what? He could be doing something like that.
That would be dumb to be a test. You don't test a NATO ally.
Especially with an Article 5 attack on one is an attack on all.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
that's not something to be played around with.
Right.
Well, maybe he's looking to test to see if we're actually going to do that.
What will trigger that?
You attack one, we all. Yeah.
U.S. Representative Joe Wilson actually went public with that statement on X. So that's really the only one I've seen so far. Now, Trump is out to dinner in D.C. right now. Which I guess with the backdrop of what's going on, I guess I don't know if he's still there. We obviously don't not have cameras there, but obviously the press pool's with him, so I think we would know if he left because we saw the arrival, and we also saw, put this up, Aaron, clips like this of him arriving.
Thank you. Joe's Seafood, you said?
We have a safe city now. Great job. Can you imagine? We did it in 12 days, but now it's almost a month. We have a safe city. So that's good. Enjoy yourself. You won't be mugged going home, okay? Have a good time, everybody.
Brandon B. Hey, thanks for that business card.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
Thanks. Stuff. I like it. Thanks.
Where's your family?
They're back in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Say hello, bro.
See you.
Have a good time, everybody. Don't drink too much.
Don't drink too much.
I love him.
Don't drink
funny,
too
man.
much. Joe's Seafood.
He's the best.
I think he's at.
The best.
And there was actually some protesters.
Don't drink too much.
Believe it or not, there was some protesters in the in there.
Of course.
And I don't know how. I guess they were already in there, and they are still in there. And Trump stared them down. Watch this.
Enjoy your dinner.
See these lunatics screaming, "Free Palestine!" And here goes Trump. Watch this.
Trump is it?
Trump just walks over there. Trump walks over there. Morons.
Well, somebody had to be tipped off.
So disrespectful.
You don't show up with
Total
one
idiots.
of those things. Just having dinner.
Yep. Dishwasher boy probably let them know.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do some
He
news
ran
with
out of
Vinnie Mac when we get back right after this. Fighter jets continue to be reportedly heard in the skies over Lublin in eastern Poland, confirming ongoing military air operations. Polish and Allied fighters jets are scrambled as Russian suicide drones reportedly entered NATO airspace over Poland. Let me go see what they have.
Self-explode. Oh, boy.
We were talking about this off the air earlier, but Putin needs to be bitch slapped. At some point, you just can't put up with this anymore. All of his nonsense, his attacks, any other rest of the crap that he pulls, and his ignoring of trying to resolve this. At some point, you got to say enough. And maybe this is the thing that pushes us to say enough. Dangerous enough, but, enough.
Track this. This has got to be. I'm sure the president's going to make a statement at some point tonight.
You would think so.
I love that Trump just walks right to face with those protesters. I mean,
yeah.
Most politicians would cower and not even go close. He just walks right up,
I looked at him like, really?
Yeah.
Really here, right? Really? Come on. Get out of Dodge. Come on.
Did you get the oysters? No?
Right.
All right. Okay. You'll be okay.
Talk about getting your clam steamed, right?
Yeah, it's the ultimate of clam steaming.
I really steamed my clams. Where's Kevin when you need him?
That's a good one.
Man.
Lori Cochran, thank you. I feel great. It's been a month from my surgery. I feel great. And back to normal, 100%. I appreciate the comment.
Like button, Rick?
On the YouTubes.
You seeing anything else come in on this?
Looking
stuff?
now. I don't really see anything.
Little Dick Durbin tonight on X. Repeated violations of NATO airspace by Russian drones. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a busy Tuesday night. We've got live, really breaking news of what's going on over Poland. Russian incursion into Poland, seemingly with drones, suicide drones, they're calling them. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin tonight on X. Also, we just read you Joe Wilson's. Dick Durbin tonight, repeated violations of NATO airspace by Russian drones tonight are fair warning that Vladimir Putin is testing our resolve to protect Poland in the Baltic nations. After the carnage Putin continues to visit on Ukraine, these incursions cannot be ignored. Of course, we've talked about this on this show when this whole Ukraine-Russia broke out, and we talked about supporting Ukraine and what we were doing, and people started to get sick and tired of that. Well, we did mention that, it's not like people thought, oh, he'll never go do anything other than Ukraine. And I said, well, that may be true, but if you're going to listen to what he's actually said in actual speeches, 2013, 2011, I believe, he's talked about this. He's talked about going into the Baltics. It's not like something that he hasn't put out there, this lunatic, because he has. And here we are tonight. We'll see in the end what this really is.
This just doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, again, the president, our understanding is still out to dinner.
This just makes
it does make
no
sense to me.
Why is that, Vin?
It makes sense to me. Well, they had the meeting with China, India, and North Carolina. That was a move just to basically show us that they could be together. We have heard reports over and over again, by the way. These haven't been like subtle reports that China, has been more threatening than they ever have to go into Taiwan. Putin has said what you just said, Damon, several times. The Ukraine war has been, a bit of a failure, that Biden allowed it to happen and we're not able to stop it yet. Like, we're not able to get as tough as we need to with this guy to get him to stop, and every effort's been made. And so it just makes sense to me that, you know what? I'm going to stick my toe over here and see what happens, or and just see if these guys are really united and together, what they can or can't do, because they clearly can't get their act together to stop me in Ukraine. And by the way, my buddy over here, China, they might put their toe in the water in Taiwan too. Like, I kind of feel like a lot of this stuff's been brewing under the surface, particularly the last 4 years. Now that Trump's in office, they might be in a position where they're saying, well, let's just see how this guy reacts to a lot of this stuff. Because we're in position to do it. I believe if Biden was elected again, or a Democrat was elected, if Kamala Harris was president right now, both Taiwan and Poland and maybe others would have already been, fights or on the map for an attack. I firmly believe they were preparing for that. Trump coming in was, is probably spoiling those plans. But I'm not surprised by this.
All right, couple updates on this. Journalist with Poland's news from 30 minutes ago. He said, this is Grzegorska Jankowski, says, 2 a.m, I hear military planes over my house in Warsaw. Member of the European Parliament for Poland tweeted about 45 minutes ago, we are waiting for official information about the Russian drone attack. We are waiting. Be careful about what is on the internet right now. Of course, that's probably good advice. 4 minutes ago, no-fly zone still active for 4 airports and traffic areas in Poland, all with the same text: Warsaw, Lublin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right. I hope I am. Rzeszów, and Modlin, not available due to unplanned military activity related to ensuring state security. Overflights are continuing through the areas, but further west than usual. So that's what we have right now. So we'll continue to track this along with other news we'll try to get to here. But Vin, what else is on your radar in the news?
I want to talk about the Supreme Court. Before I do, I did want to make one last comment on this horrific thing in Charlotte, because it did dawn upon me that these people that didn't do anything, I mean, they frankly could have been in shock, and just absolutely terrified to actually do anything, which doesn't sit well with me. But some people messaged that on our social platforms, and I thought, well, maybe there's something to that. Maybe not.
I say, well, I can't say the full word. I'll just say I'm calling BS on that, because I have eyes and I can watch the video.
Yeah, fair enough. And I didn't, as I said, I didn't watch it. I don't know if I got the stomach to watch it, but I might come out of that thinking exactly the same way you do. But
there's there's 4 other black people sitting on that train in that part with her. Not one of them has any interest in even looking at her. Not one. And by the way, we should point out that the guy who eventually ended up helping her, at least from the pictures, as he's hovering over her while she's bleeding out, is also black. But the looks on their faces and their actions, if you watch the video, says otherwise. That doesn't look like a whole lot of shock. Quite frankly, when it first happens, I don't think any of them, if you're going to give them anything, after the lunatic actually walks out of there after stabbing her, the video, when you look at her, you may not even have realized how badly she was hurt at first.
Right. I don't think she realized.
I think, the only slack you could cut any of these people.
Yeah.
But you could have gone over and said, are you okay? Nobody even said a word to her. Yeah. Not one single syllable. It's
and even if they were in shock, you can't just sit there when someone is getting attacked like that. I mean, things are shocking in life, and you have to, as a fellow human being, step in and help.
Yeah, be human.
I mean, just for example, Aaron, it doesn't show anything, so just put this up. So this is right after he's done. Now, just watch the people, and you tell me. So the 2 people behind her don't even move.
And even her sitting there,
right out.
I don't think she realizes how badly hurt she was at that point, because it happened so quick, right? And she's kind of looking around. I saw it from a different angle, this video, and she's looking around like, what the hell just happened? Why did that guy hit me?
Oh my.
You almost have that thinking that that's what she's feeling at that moment before it starts to dawn on her that, oh my God, I'm bleeding. And then she starts to fall over.
I mean, there's 4 people here that don't say one word to her.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Right. Where can I get
What happened? Did you know that guy?
I'll call
Nothing.
911.
To realize how badly she's actually hurt.
Where's the conductor?
And if you see the other angle, this guy walks out of the frame here. He walks about 4 or 5 steps into half of the other train. Then he comes back.
Yeah. All the while, if you're watching that video, you notice there's blood dripping from his hand because that's where he was holding the knife. He was covered in blood, which is why then he goes and removes his sweatshirt to cover up because he knows, crazy people don't really care if they're covered in blood if they're crazy. I think he knew exactly what he did. And he mumbled, I got that white girl.
Unbelievable.
Twice he said that.
Yeah.
Van Jones, though, is not sure why the guy did this.
Right.
It says Charlie Kirk's is a race baiter. Charlie Kirk's a race baiter for saying, yeah, we know why he attacked her, because she's white. Black on white crime. Van Jones thinks that he's the race baiter. The guy who injects race into everything. After George Floyd, it took him 8 seconds to tell us why it happened. But he doesn't know.
Yeah,
not sure.
Even tonight, he's still going with the George Floyd was murdered right in front of everybody. No, he wasn't. That's all been debunked now.
All right, lots to cover tonight. We'll get back. We'll give Vin a chance to actually do the news or whatever he's got. When we get back, we'll do Delgado's headlines, all coming up.
Chat live in the chat. RD Bull, you are correct.
RD Bull.
RD Bull in the Rumble rant.
Red Bull.
These race baiters, man. I saw Cuomo trying to get Al Sharpton to endorse him. I mean, I just can't believe who would want that guy's endorsement. You know, I mean, it's just talk about a race baiter.
Oh,
I mean, probably one of the biggest I remember the Tawana Brawley stuff.
I knew you were going to go
very well.
I knew you were going to say Tawana Brawley. How did I know that? I knew it.
I just like the word Tawana if I can fit that into a sentence.
Greatest name ever.
But I mean, that guy gets famous for that fraud and every fraud since. He is a fraudster. And Andrew Cuomo wants to be mayor of New York City, so he goes to him for his endorsement. Like, I can't believe anybody even gives a crap about that guy. Well, I know I don't.
I can't believe he's still around. That's what I can't believe.
Right? Wow, and he's got a TV show.
I know.
He's on TV.
He still
Holy
gets
cow.
paid.
Yeah, why not? Cash money.
He gets paid, tax evasion. They couldn't go after him. He used to just hold up businesses for ransom and say he'd bring in protesters if they don't pay him money.
Shake him down.
Well,
This
he was a
how he
reverend.
made his living.
Ben, he was a reverend.
Well,
Come
yeah.
on. You know, come
He's
on.
a
Send your money.
reverend of something. Yeah. Yeah. Lori Cochran says, Vinny, 10-1, Ukraine sent the drones over to Poland to start an all-out war.
Oh.
I mean, that's where, a lot of this speculation is going to come around. Like, who would do what and why, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that because according to this, Ukraine has copies of Russian drones and is false flagging Poland.
When you say according to this, what would this be?
This post on X, and they talk about a hack of plans to send EU troops to the Ukraine according to the map and the protocols of secret meetings of the Coalition of the Willing obtained by hackers. At least 4 countries involved in the occupation include France, Great Britain, Poland, and Romania.
This is posted by who?
Let's see. Can't get this. Come on. You froze.
Hey, Rav family and War Room Posse, mark your calendar. September 12th and 13th, the Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws Tour is coming to the America First Warehouse.
I have never seen anything like this.
2 unforgettable days filled with Patriots, barbecue, and live shows straight from the most amazing place, the America First Warehouse. Get ready for a special guest to be announced, plus a 3-hour live episode of Studio 6B.
And we're just going to go do it.
On the 12th, Steve Bannon will host War Room Live at 5 p.m. And Steve will be back again on the 13th. Woo! Followed by 1 hour with Peter Navarro.
I went to prison so you won't have to.
The Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws Tour, September 12th and 13th at the America First Warehouse. Scan the QR code to see pricing and availability. Don't miss this opportunity. Tickets won't last.
Here's the deal. If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B.
All right, Joe, thanks. 9 o'clock on the East Coast, Real America's Voice. Live from Studio 6B, Hour 2. Slick's going to get to some more sports, hopefully, here. Delgado hopefully gets some more headlines. Vin gets to more of his headlines as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Want to thank everybody who's in the chat. Wherever you're watching, we appreciate it. Make sure you follow us on all our social media at LFS6B, pretty much everywhere except for Instagram, LFS6B Show. Follow the social media. We do appreciate it. Head over to livefromstudio6b.com as well. Become a member of our 6B Front Row loyalty program where you can earn points just for being active in the chats on a weekly basis and visiting the site. And then you put that towards any of the merch that's on the site, 6B Front Row. Check that out at livefromstudio6b.com. We got a lot to cover in hour 2. A lot of breaking news tonight, live breaking news tonight. What's going on in Poland? Poland has closed its airspace over its main airports, as the reports are that there may be an incursion by Russian suicide drones into Polish airspace. So we are monitoring and trying to get as much information on that as possible. Would be just an absolutely huge, insane escalation by Russia if it is on its face what it seems like. Obviously, everything has to be on the table here on what this could be. So we're going to monitor that. I'm not going to have time probably to get to all this, so I just want to talk quickly about it. If you didn't see Aaron Siri today testify at this hearing on vaccines and childhood vaccines and just overall health, chronic illness, it was stunning. He was as good as anybody I can remember testifying in one of these hearings. And I'll just give you one of my favorite clips from the hearing, which involves Big Dick Blumenthal from Connecticut, the former Attorney General of Connecticut. And let's just say, Big Dick here got handled. Here's the clip.
We've been talking about medical issues. You're not a medical doctor, are you?
No, sir.
And you're not an immunologist or biologist or any kind of...
Or vaccinologist, no, but I depose them regularly, including the world's leading ones with regards to vaccines, and I have to make my claims based on actual evidence when I go to court with regards to vaccines. I don't get to rely on titles.
Okay.
Kaboom.
Hello, Dick.
But you're not a doctor.
Good one.
No, I prefer not to be a doctor because I prefer to rely on the evidence, not slogans like we've been hearing.
Okay.
Yeah, Dick is pretty much speechless. Doesn't quite know what to say. And his staff, as you see behind him, has their head down like, oh, this is not going well. Aaron Siri pulling no punches as he did all day in just this really stunning hearing. And some of the reports, some of these reports that weren't published because the information that they found in them was so troubling that they weren't published. The difference in fully vaccinated kids against unvaccinated, or at least not completely, maybe it was completely unvaccinated, but didn't follow the vaccination schedule.
Are you talking about the Henry Ford?
That most doctors
study?
will. Henry Ford, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Most doctors, pediatricians, when you go to, because me and my wife went through it twice with our 2 kids, will tell you that you have to follow. You're going to have to do some shopping around if you believe that jabbing your kid 40 times before they're 3 years old is not a great idea. You're going to have to shop around to find a doctor, and good luck now. This was, for us, 18 years ago we started this, and it was hard then. I can't imagine what it would be like now, having gone through COVID. But this report from this Henry Ford report that he testified about today compared the unvaccinated to vaccinated children. The vaccinated children had a 4-point, this is all in the report that they would not publish because of these findings. The doctor said, well, I don't want to lose my job. 4.3 times higher rate of having asthma, a 3.03 times higher rate of having atopic disease, a almost 6 times higher rate of autoimmune disease, 5.5 times higher rate of having neurodevelopmental disorders, including a 3.28 times developmental delay, and a 4.47 times chance of having a speech disorder. For conditions like ADHD, learning disabilities, and intellectual disabilities, there were hundreds of cases in the vaccinated group and 0 cases in the unvaccinated. The overarching finding, by age 10, only 17% of the unvaccinated children had any chronic illness whatsoever. Among the vaccinated, the number skyrocketed to 57%.
Oh, my God.
So if you haven't seen his full testimony, it's out there. You can find it. Go to YouTube. Just search Aaron Siri. Or you can go to his X. This was stunning today to see.
Yeah, especially when you look at some of these other numbers. Vaccinated kids had 453% more neurodevelopmental disorders. That includes 496% increase in autoimmune disease, 453% increase in more neurodevelopmental disorders, 329% increase in asthma, and 203% increase in atopic disease. Basically, all this stuff was killing your kids. Killing all of us, basically. Because they wanted all of us to be on this type of schedule.
It doesn't stop there. You know, I got into another one of my regular Facebook battles, but this time with medical professionals that I happen to know that argued with me all throughout COVID, diss anything I say that supports Robert Kennedy, which of course, you know, Kennedy was just, you know, asked a bunch of questions by the Senate, and so he was in the spotlight last week. So I was talking about that. I get completely slammed by them, and I finally came back with the following. I said, look, forget about your hatred of Trump and your hatred of Kennedy. Tell me why autism rates have exploded and are all over the place, and 1 in 30 kids now have autism. Tell me why, after COVID, we should believe anything any of you say. Anything. There's no science to follow. You had us follow science fiction, not actual science. And I'm going on and on about just give me your response to why we should just eat healthier with all the preservatives and all the junk in our food. You know, Kennedy just came out asking Trump to get some executive orders about baby formulas that are made in China. You know, asking that we monitor them better and maybe create a pool of breastfeeding milk so people can actually use, you know, the real thing. because there's just so many things that are in our society now that are dangerous to us. But none of these medical professionals would acknowledge any of this. I took the argument away from let's just stop hating what Kennedy has to say and just tell me why it's not a good thing to maybe take a look at these vaccines and make sure that they're safer and have some proper research around them. And why do kids have to have 30 vaccines? And why should we be putting these types of things in our foods that are not good for us, that are causing all sorts of bad reactions? I mean, that's the science. That's the data. And they had no response. It's just, I hate Trump and I hate Bobby Kennedy Jr. And what you just noted that this gentleman was talking about today, I mean, how blatant do the facts have to be in our face? You know, Blumenthal, shame on him as always. The guy's an idiot. He's a fool and he's a liar. But at the end of the day, doesn't he have family members? Doesn't he have kids? Doesn't he have nieces, nephews, grandchildren, whatever? Does he want them shot up 30 times knowing what he just heard about vaccines? I mean, it's astonishing to me how people in the medical community that I'm battling with or senators just wouldn't sit back and say, this is about health. It's not about politics. And frankly, if there were a scoreboard right now, Bobby Kennedy's like 8 for 10, okay? He's doing quite well. He's batting 800 in my book.
Your answer on
doing.
Blumenthal, by the way, Vin, is no, he doesn't. And you know how I know that? Because they wouldn't give themselves the same rules for the COVID vaccinations in Congress. They wouldn't give themselves the same rules as they gave us.
Yeah.
So we already know the answer to that for these gold-plated phonies.
Yeah, that's a great point. And he's a fool.
Not only that, remember the CDC even told their own people, oh, you don't have to get it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Because they knew.
And Bobby,
they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. You mentioned the CDC. It's another thing I was battling. First off, the CDC's levels went through the roof during COVID. So he went back to pre-COVID downsizing. But at the end of the day, we're relying on the CDC and so are doctors to give guidance on the things. And they've been caught lying over and over and over again. So if this were a business and you were managing a division like that was failing so miserably, what would any logical person do? They'd fire people. They'd downsize it. They'd reset the table. He's doing exactly what's needed. And it's just a shame that they've turned him into such a villain. And the medical community are the ones doing that.
Yeah. Well, I just shared the entire hearing on our X. If you haven't seen it, it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes, but it's worth watching. Aaron Siri, Toby Rogers was also fantastic in this hearing. So if you've been following this like we have and talking about it as we have for 10 years on this show, vaccines, thimerosal, mercury, all of it, this hearing was as good as we've ever had. And both of them were fantastic and took a lot of these phonies, Democrats who don't know anything about it, just, barking their talking points from Big Pharma to task today. Well-deserved, too. So,
well done.
Right. Well, we don't have time. We just keep taking up all the time here. This is why we need 3 hours, because there's just not enough time to get to everything. So
3 hours. I love it.
Well, we're going to have our chance next Friday.
Yeah.
This Friday. At the America First Warehouse, 8 to 11, live from Studio 6B on Friday night.
3 hours. Nice.
Yes.
They've been asking for it.
We'll be doing an odds makers Friday night. We'll have some fun with that. We'll see if we can get a guest picker. It's going to be great. And if you want your tickets, you better scan the QR code tonight because they're almost gone. All right, live from Studio 6B. Try to get to some other news here when we get back right after this.
Did you guys know that on September 12th, Belarus and Russia are having major military exercises?
Yeah, I have that in my calendar,
I saw
actually.
something.
You have it in your calendar?
Why would anybody know that?
Well, and this information comes to us from one of our longtime viewers, Mr. Bill. I'll call him Mr. Bill. I don't know if he wants me to use his name, but they're having major military exercises. They're expecting thousands of troops there. In fact, around 200,000. I mean, this is not a small little thing. China just had their big parade. Rick, I'm surprised you don't have this in your calendar and you don't have any of this information.
I don't have that in my calendar. I should put it in my to-do. I'm always looking for things to do on the weekend.
Put a reminder in
make
for
sure
the
I
12th.
zip over to Belarus for some exercise.
You don't look for things to do on the weekend. You're always busy.
Yeah. There's a great Club Med in Belarus, by the way. You should check that out if you're going to go away. Yeah, it's amazing.
Are you coming down to the warehouse on Saturday?
Club Babushka?
Delgado, you coming down Saturday at the warehouse?
Yeah, I might come down Saturday. See what
Rick.
see what you losers are up to.
Hey.
Maybe I'm not, Aaron. How about that?
He's going to bring Aaron a corn muffin.
I'm going to bring you a corn muffin. I'm going to bring Fran a frosty beverage.
How about a nice Spy Trail honey bourbon? Ooh, now we're talking turkey.
Now, are you guys
have it in
working
your calendar
Saturday too, Aaron? Yeah.
What's that, Vin?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure Rick has Friday and Saturday in his calendar.
Yeah, he heard Rouge and Rogues and Belarusian.
Rouge. Did I send it to?
Oh, the UFO.
It's going to be an amazing 2 days. I know the team here. I've been watching them scrambling and doing all kinds of stuff, getting ready.
Which one?
It's going to be amazing.
Which one?
Friday and Saturday's events. Our evening and Friday.
Is it there? I'm missing something. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
Bingo.
That's the best one.
Breaking news.
Bingo.
Why don't we do the UFO stuff tomorrow?
Yeah,
that was a question on Jeopardy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do we got here? PM.
Who is Rick Delgado? Come on, Slick. You got that, baby, right?
Oh,
yeah,
I got
good.
that Vinny from downtown.
It sound like the blues. 17 past the hour. Let me talk to you about our friends at Patriot Mobile. I realize there are many choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes in freedom is worth fighting for, and that, of course, is our friends at Patriot Mobile. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms while also providing exceptional nationwide cell phone service with access to all three of the main networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who've made the switch and are now supporting causes they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone, or you can upgrade. Patriot Mobile's all U.S.-based customer support team is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today, 972-PATRIOT today. Or you can go to patriotmobile.com/RAV right there on your screen, patriotmobile.com/RAV. Use promo code RAV, R-A-V, for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/RAV or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today over to our friends at Patriot Mobile. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some headlines. Rick Delgado's got them, brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. What's going on, Delgado?
All right, Damon. Well, a lot of breaking news that's happening all around. We'll keep an eye on what's going on in Poland. So we'll come to you with any breaking news or updates to that story, see what's going on there. I'm surprised we haven't heard from the president yet, or at least a statement from the White House. But when we do, we'll pass it on. Here's some good news for the president, who was out and about today. Again, we played that clip earlier of him going to dinner with Vice President J.D. Vance. Maybe they're celebrating a little bit of their Supreme Court victory, as Supreme Court temporarily allows Trump to pause billions in foreign aid. Chief Justice Roberts on Tuesday allowed the Trump administration to freeze billions in foreign aid payments for now, putting on hold a lower court ruling that required the officials to spend the $4 billion of that money before the end of the month. Roberts, who handles emergency appeals from federal courts in D.C., issues what is known as an administrative stay. The order does not necessarily indicate how the court will ultimately resolve the appeal, though it could make it harder for groups that sued over cuts to recover the money approved by Congress. Roberts ordered the groups challenging the move to respond to the Trump administration by Friday afternoon, so we'll see what happens with that. Again, President Trump winning once again, for now at least temporarily, in the Supreme Court at issue with the $4 billion in foreign aid. He's decided he wants to make sure he holds back. Another story that kind of makes you scratch your head. You know, we're thinking about Poland, what's going on there. And here's another one that makes you scratch your head: as Israel attacks Hamas leaders in Doha, Qatar, drawing condemnation over the strike.
When you said it makes you scratch your head?
Yeah.
What makes you scratch your head about it?
What makes you scratch your head is, why would Israel attack Qatar?
Because that's where the bastards are.
I understand that. But Israel is also really good at getting who they want in other ways. We've seen this before. We saw it with the cell phones. We've seen it with the beepers. If they want somebody dead, they can get them without usually this type of act. Israel's military struck earlier today and said they conducted a precise strike targeting senior leadership of the Hamas terrorist organization amid reports of large explosions in the Qatar capital city of Doha. Qatar's government quickly issued a condemnation of what it called a cowardly Israeli strike, which had violated international law. Again, makes you scratch your head. Why would they do something, attack a sovereign nation that's not involved in this outwardly? Why wouldn't they have said, hey,
not involved
wait, you got to let me finish. Why wouldn't they have gone, hey, U.S., you guys just struck a deal with Qatar, get them to hand us these guys so we don't have to go in there and get them themselves? And if that's the case, why wasn't something like that done? Why was it even brought up? It makes you scratch your head, like, why are some things that should be very simple and easy to at least request not being done? The Israel Defense Forces did not confirm the locations of the strike, but according to the Doha, the people inside of Doha, the terrorist organization's leaders were not actually taken out. They had lesser, I guess they hit lesser targets than the ones that they weren't aiming for. The Al Jazeera television network said an ongoing meeting of Hamas leaders in Doha was struck as they gathered to discuss the recent ceasefire proposal to end the war in the Gaza Strip. So, now you were saying, Damon?
What I'm saying is, first of all, Qatar is not our ally. Under no circumstances they're our ally. They give cover, they give financing, they finance the Muslim Brotherhood, which in turn finances Hamas, is their front group. They finance front groups in America for all this. These guys, I don't care where they go, they should not be given cover. And if this is what you need to do to take them out, there's no planet that Qatar is our ally and is some innocent bystander in all this. They continue to give them shelter. They give them cover. They run financing for it. The mere fact that this strike has to happen is proof of all of that, because that's where they were. That's where they've been since October 7th. All of the leaders of these groups have been hanging out there. So what, you
while
think
they don't agree to anything.
Over? What, Vin?
Yeah. I said, while they don't agree to anything, while they don't get hostages released, while every peace offer or settlement offer is thrown out the window because of these lunatics, they're just playing the system. And I agree with Damon on everything he said. This is not a regime that, we're, basically saying, oh, they have the same values as us. Yeah, Trump made some deals there. He did financial deals for our country. But at the end of the day, I think if Israel could take out these lowlifes, take them out wherever the heck they are. I don't care where they are, by the way. They could be in Switzerland for all I care.
You know what?
Take them out.
I don't care about terrorists either, but I feel in this case, we have our largest U.S. military installation in the Mideast is located right down the street.
Right. That's why the idea, and listen, I'm not calling the president a liar here, but the idea that he didn't know about this until after it happened, I think is you have to believe in UFOs to think that that's true. I mean, there's just no way. with a base there that he didn't know about this. It's just not. I don't think it's possible.
No, I understand. I agree with that. I'm just saying, with our huge base there and the influence that we have, the fact that Israel didn't say and make it public, say, Mr. President, you just signed a deal there. You've got this huge military base there. These guys are 30 miles away. Can you scoop them up and get them out of there and bring them to us, please, so we can hold trials?
I don't think you can deal with that with people who drive terrorism around the world the way that Qatar does, funding the Muslim Brotherhood. Remember, these are the guys who bankrolled what happened in Benghazi. I just don't think you can. I don't think we're silly enough to think that we can deal with them on that kind of level. Now, the word tonight is that Qatar may have tipped off all these leaders who are there, and they may not even been taken out.
Right.
Which in that case, who's going to ask that question? Who's going to say, well, so now you have to hand them over to us so they can? Who's going to do that? If that's true, we don't know.
Yeah, but it still raises the question: why would they do this without trying to exhaust other ways? I mean, you're lighting a match. You're finally getting the Middle East to kind of coalesce with Israel and say, yes, these are the bad people. Let's make sure we take care of them. But do you think
did we ask this when we took out Soleimani? Do
you think if they go to take a shot in Qatar, you don't think the rest of the Middle East is going to start going, well, you guys are pushing a little bit. You could have camped to us. You know what I mean? I feel like there's ways of doing this, and there's a lot of diplomacy that probably could have been done that maybe we don't know, that maybe it had failed. Maybe they tried and it failed. I don't know.
I don't know much diplomacy when we take out these guys. There wasn't much diplomacy when we took out Soleimani. There wasn't much diplomacy when we've taken out. I mean, you go get them when the chance you have to go get them, don't you?
No, I understand that. And again, I feel like Israel's opened up some cans that maybe don't need to be opened with some other countries.
They're eliminating the obstacle.
I don't know what took them so long, quite frankly. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B.
YouTube chat. Damon, don't bash Delgado. You'll never get a UFO ride. Broke spoke. Broke spoke coming in.
I'll take anybody.
I think that's a good reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susan Markle asks, how would you handle it, Delgado? And?
Excuse me? Like I said, you know what? Israel has a lot of ways they could have did this without it being so public. They could have just. We've seen what they can do. We've seen what their intelligence agencies can do.
Well, then you would think they would know that they could have done that if they could have done that.
They could have done that. I don't know why they didn't try to.
Damon is bought and paid for by Bibi. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. You are on to me.
Gotcha.
We have a military base in Qatar. What's up?
Yeah, I know. I said that. What?
They have a base in Qatar to protect Israel. That's why we have a base there. I mean, we don't have a base there for our health. It's there because we fear.
Is Vin like hearing voices in his head? What's going on? He keeps like stopping us if he's hearing something.
I am.
Oh, well, none of us are talking.
Oh, they're talking to him.
I'm hearing somebody talk.
Somebody's in his head.
Maybe you're watching.
Who was just talking in my ear?
Oh, you're hearing our guest.
Oh.
You're hearing Fran talking.
Yeah, you're hearing me, produce the show in the background.
That's right.
Who's coming up? All right, Vin, you're not out of your mind. That's fine. You're not hearing UFOs. Don't worry. You're good.
Yeah.
Hang on. I think I have Elvis right now. Elvis, are you there?
We can't go on together. We're suspicious, man.
I'm hearing voices. I want to dedicate this song to a girl I met in Germany. That's all right, Mama.
I said, Vin looks like he just swallowed a cat or something. With the look on his face.
Yeah, I forgot I used the same channel
His
to
shirt
talk
looks
to
like
Vin
it's
as I do.
Why does he keep stopping like he's hearing voices in his head? Because he was.
I felt like it was in the movie Carrie. Oh.
September 11th, 2001, a day that changed America forever. Nearly a quarter century later, the memories remain vivid and the loss still felt deeply. Real America's Voice presents a powerful special, 9/11. 24 years later, America still mourns. Join David Zier, host of Breaking Point, for 2 exclusive conversations. First with Richard Rotans, who led New York's emergency response during those dark hours. And then a candid interview with former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, reflecting on leadership, courage, and the enduring impact of that tragic day. 2 voices, one nation still healing, and a reminder we must never forget. Don't miss 9/11. 24 years later, America still mourns. Only on Real America's Voice.
All right, 31 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. An update here, at least the only one I could find. More drones are reported to be flying over northern and western Ukraine towards the border with Poland. That from about 11 minutes ago from OSINT Defender on X, which is open source intelligence monitor focused on Europe and conflicts across the world. That's the latest from there, which is what I've been looking at most of the night, so we'll see. Please welcome back to the show right now the Senior Vice President for AMAC Action, our friend Andy Mangione, who we haven't seen in a while. Andy, how are you?
I'm doing great, Damon. Nice to see you guys.
Welcome back. Good to see you as well. What is the Myers Report?
Well, the Myers Report is a nonpartisan discussion group that has been ongoing for more than 37 years. They've got expert thought leader contributors that include scientists, medical doctors, engineers, and a host of other diverse professions. And they just put out a really alarming report with regard to the status of the United States elections, the United States election system, I should say, as it compares with other democracies in the world.
Okay, so just to dig a little deeper into that, what is there like a general census of what the report says, or what can you tell us about the kind of what's the top line out of this report?
The top line is that the United States, when compared to other democracies, has a failing grade in the way we administer our elections. And Damon, these guys, the Myers Group, looked at a subset of 17 election risk areas that included citizen-only voting, same-day voter registration, ranked choice voting, mail-in ballots, voter ID, and ballot harvesting, just to name a few.
Okay, so those are some of the metrics they use. So, and you said when looking at the rest of the world, where did the U.S. rank?
Well, here we go. The United States received an overall failing score of 60 out of 100. And get this, Damon, they came in, or I should say, we came in significantly behind countries like Kenya, Mexico, Chile, Ghana, Italy, and Rwanda. For example, 92% of the countries surveyed required voter ID, while only 29% of the states in the U.S. require identification to vote. Also, 100% of the other nations surveyed do not allow ballot harvesting, while 55% of states in the U.S. permit it. In fact, Damon, the U.S. is the only nation that allows ballot harvesting. But it gets worse. 92% of other nations surveyed do not allow mail-in voting before the election, while no state in the U.S. prohibits mail-in voting.
So obviously, my next question was going to be: did they look at the states individually? Obviously, they did. From what you just said, did they come up with any kind of final ranking? Did they compare the states to each other? Was there one worst? I mean, obviously, none of it sounds good. But how did the states actually stack up when they looked at them?
It's not all bad, okay? We have some really good news here. States that received the highest scores for election integrity included Mississippi, Arkansas, Kentucky, all of which earned scores above 75. States receiving the lowest scores, and there's no surprise here, Damon, they were Nevada, Vermont, California, Illinois, and Washington, D.C., all with failing scores between 30 and 39 out of 100.
So when you guys get something like this over at AMAC, and you've got obviously all of your members who are obviously interested in these kind of topics, what's the takeaway? How do you message it to them? Is there something then now, what kind of action, what's the actionable items that you guys take out of something like this?
Well, there's a couple of ways to look at the results, Damon. First of all, obviously, we've got a long way to go in terms of election integrity in the United States. But this report also validates the work already undertaken by AMAC Action to restore trust in the nation's elections. For example, in 2024 alone, AMAC Action helped secure 22 election integrity victories in more than a dozen states, including bans on ranked choice voting and non-citizen voting in several jurisdictions. And we're going to continue our mission to make it easier to vote and harder to cheat in our elections. We're going to continue to educate our membership and activate them as well.
And if you want to read this report, we're going to share it on our social media. New study highlights importance of AMAC Action election integrity efforts. It was published on September 2nd. We're going to put it on our social media so people can read it. Of course, you can go to amac.us/studio6b, amac.us/studio6b if you want to join all the great work that AMAC is doing. Andy, always appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for a few moments.
My pleasure, Damon. Thank you.
All right, Andy Mangione from AMAC Action, amac.us/studio6b. And like I said, we will share that article on our socials. New study highlights importance of AMAC Action election integrity efforts. We'll put that on all of our socials so you can read it. They do great stuff over at AMAC, but they write great articles. We had that kid from Long Island. I forget his name, but he writes for them as well. He was on the show quite a while ago from Stony Brook kid, if I remember. He's written some great stuff for them as well. So, all right, 36 past the hour. Delgado, let's do a couple more headlines, then we'll get to Vin's news, and then we'll get to sports. What else is going on?
All right. Well, going back to, of course, the murder of the Ukrainian girl we were talking about earlier, Arena. That's how you pronounce her first name. Again, we talk about the media spin. We started talking about that yesterday. And, you mentioned Van Jones, and here he is. This is exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about media spin and trying to protect their narrative, because it's the wrong color. The guy was the wrong color. The victim was the wrong color. So they have to protect their narrative. Here he is, Van Jones on CNN with host Abby Phillips, as they try to make an excuse about the mentally ill lunatic and try to blame racism as well as to why the media is covering this. This is cut number 3. Check this out.
When you are mentally ill, you have a hard time knowing that you are mentally ill. But also, people like Charlie Kirk, Van, they've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of reciprocal George Floyd situation. And
listen to this.
That's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
Let me just say a couple
Speaking
things.
of mentally ill.
What happened to that young woman was horrible. And it's everybody's nightmare. If you're in any public space, subway, whatever, that something bad's going to happen to you or somebody you care about. So it does strike a chord. We don't know why that man did what he did.
Yes, we do.
And for Charlie Kirk to say, we know he did it because she's white, when there's no evidence of that, it's just pure race mongering, hate mongering. It's wrong. And then for someone like Charlie Kirk, he should be ashamed of himself. No one mentioned the word race,
Aaron,
white, black, or anything except him.
This is yesterday's clip. This is what I said he called him. This is not new. This is what he did yesterday. It's just then we get the video after that of the guy saying, I got that white girl. I got that white girl.
That's where I was going. Cut number 5. Here's Charlie Kirk's response on X after seeing what Van Jones had to say. Cut 5. Yeah, but according to Van Jones, it had nothing to do with race.
Yeah, no, we don't know.
Yeah.
Here's a better example of how, I don't know what the words are for how you should feel about these people. It's why when I put it up, I said, these people are, and I just put a blank and let you fill it in because there's many words that, but this is some of the media framing of this over the last 48 hours.
Fueling a political firestorm, how a video of a deadly stabbing in Charlotte has turned into a flashpoint as the administration pushes its crime crackdown.
People are murdered every single day, but this particular one, I'm trying to understand why this has become such a flashpoint on the right.
I have to say, some of the replies to Musk, some of the comments around this story are baldly racist.
The president and his allies are using the attack to accuse Democrats of being soft on crime.
Yeah, so the president has pointed the finger at Democrats.
Members of the Trump administration also used the video to criticize Democratic-led cities.
The president blaming Democrats for Zarutka's death.
It is Trump-aligned influencers who are posting up a storm about this case on social media.
Certain people have been looking for an opportunity to find a case like this to make a point.
It all comes, of course, as Trump is trying to seize control of other cities that he says are not safe.
I mean, Charlotte is a place with a very effective police department, very effective leadership. Murder is down 29%.
Charlotte police were touting a 25% reduction in violent crime.
What he really needed was inpatient mental health care. And
29 or
North
25?
Carolina rates last when it comes to mental health bed availability.
What are the city managers doing to make sure they are investing in these individuals to get them to help?
If you want to be addressing the mental health issues of these folks and prevent the recidivism, you do need to be investing in mental health.
CNN spoke with his mother and his sister, who say that for years they have struggled to get him adequate mental health treatment.
It's just amazing.
Where are they with these mass shootings when people claim, mental health? All they guys get, ban the guns, the guns, and now it's all about mental health. And one thing about mental health, if you're released from prison 12 to 15 times, that's beyond mental health. You're a criminal, okay, and you should be in jail. And if you need mental health help, yeah, I'm all for it. Get it. But this guy was a flat-out criminal.
Yeah, flat-out criminal.
And I'm going to get some of this wrong because I haven't gotten the details. But have you seen that the so-called judge that released him is not real? I don't know if she's a judge. She's not a lawyer. She didn't pass the bar exam. Did you see this, Vin?
No.
I did. I saw this, and it's running rampant around on social media right now that the judge did not have a law degree. Shouldn't even been a judge. And that, by the way, is not uncommon in some of these districts. So
she was working at a fast food restaurant 4 years ago, I think I read.
Was it the case of somebody ran for the office? Because I know you can run to, win the judgeship.
I don't know the details, but I believe that that's what the report is. She did not pass the bar exam.
Wow. You're talking about Judge Teresa Stokes.
Yeah, I don't think she passed the bar exam. How are you a judge if you don't pass the bar exam? You don't have to pass the bar to be a judge?
I thought you did. Apparently not. I mean, at least
there are 5 or 6 states.
She is a
5 or 6 states.
She's a med tech.
That say you don't need to pass the bar to be a judge.
So no law
5 or
degree,
6
no
states.
pass the bar, but she could be a judge to let a guy like this out on the streets after being arrested 14 times.
She is a magistrate judge for the Charlotte District of Mecklenburg County Court in North Carolina.
And she just gets off scot-free, I guess. There's no repercussions for her, obviously.
Obviously.
I thought you had to have a law degree.
All right, one more to go. Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night.
That guy loses his mind.
9-3 they lost. They got pounded.
Yeah.
Frank's lost his bird.
Wow. That may be an understatement.
All right, well, here you go. Magistrate judges or judicial officers who assist U.S. District Court judges. They're appointed to assist district court judges in managing their caseloads. They handle initial appearances of criminal defendants, set bail, and conduct other administrative tasks. So, no, she's not a real judge. Not by what you and I would consider to be a judge. They operate under a more limited jurisdiction compared to district judges, typically oversee preliminary stages, which is probably why this guy never made it in front of a real judge, because she decided on her own to say, this doesn't meet the criteria. Let's get him out of here.
Yep. Rubber stamped him.
Yeah. They manage misdemeanor cases and preside over civil cases, particularly in pretrial matters.
Yep. She had to get to lunch. Get him off the docket.
They're appointed by a majority vote of the district judges in their respective district. They serve terms of 8 years in full-time, 4 years in part-time.
Yeah, there's a couple of states, as I was saying, that, allow that.
They often deal with less serious offenses and preliminary matters, whereas district judges handle the more complex cases that require full judicial authority. And remember, they went around and lowered the threshold for a lot of these crimes. So
we haven't even talked about the jobs numbers yet. The revision that came out this morning.
Yeah. I guess he was right firing that jobs person.
Where did the show go? All right. Slick, I'll start with you.
Yeah. I'll knock off the scores, and I have one Conor McGregor story. I have some other stories, but I'll just do the scores and McGregor. We have a 3-hour show. It means I can do a full-blown odds makers on Friday night.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. Let me try to get to everybody here. Slick's got sports. Sports brought to you by Mike Lindell. My Pillow, LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slick, what do you got?
All right, well, the pennant race is in full force. Big D, Major League Baseball, one more sweep of the scoreboard for tonight. Nationals, 7-5 over the Marlins. Bottom of the ninth, end of 8. The Tigers pounding the Yankees into the Bronx, 12-2. Astros 3-1 over the Blue Jays, top of the ninth. Top 8, Rays over the White Sox, 5-4. Brewers lead Rangers lead the Brewers. Check that. Bottom fourth, 4-3. We got bottom of the first, no score, Twins and Angels. The Reds, Sal Stewart with a home run in the first inning, lead the Padres. Top of the first, 1-0. We got the Cardinals and Mariners, no score, top first as well. Also top first just underway. Diamondbacks and Giants, no score. Earlier tonight, Orioles edge the Pirates 3-2 in 11. The Guardians blank the Royals 2-0. The Mets lose 9-3 in Philadelphia. Oh, good Lord, the Mets are starting to fall apart. Cubs 6-1 over the Braves, and we got the Reds and A's, and also the Rockies and Dodgers coming up 10:05 and 10:10 respective first pitches. And I want to get to this Daily Mail story that I just lost for Conor McGregor. So, boy, I had it all ready to go, and I lost it. So,
all right, well, then we'll get back to you. Let's do some other. Vin, what else is on your radar for news?
Well, first off, have you heard that this has-been Crockett senator said that we need to outlaw security cameras? One of the dumbest comments that I could possibly imagine anyone saying. But here's something I'd never thought I'd ever hear in this country. Maybe I'd hear this in London, but not in this country. In Texas, they announced a ban on Sharia law after some Muslim patrols tried to ban alcohol and pork sales in Texas. Governor Abbott had to actually act. This is how out of control this type of non-assimilation is, and it has to be dealt with immediately in this country. Look at London. They actually have, and they might not admit it to this full point, but they actually have Sharia law in London. They have pockets of society. And we have pockets in Minnesota and other parts of this country that, kind of operate on their own. I mean, it's an absolute travesty. I never thought I'd see that in my life. The other thing on my mind is Amy Coney Barrett. She's been out talking to the media. She's got a book out, and CBS had an interview with her, and it was, I don't know if you saw any of this stuff, Damon, regarding how she was handled, but it was a basic left-wing confrontation on the Supreme Court and all of their overturning all these other federal courts and the other smaller courts that keep defying the Trump administration with bogus rulings, and everything from there to the whole Roe versus Wade thing. But it was more of an attack on the Supreme Court. And let me give them a big wake-up call. We have to have the Supreme Court do its job properly right now because of all these rogue judges and others that are acting so partisan. And then we even have judges without law degrees letting criminals out. So we have to have the Supreme Court doing their job now. They seem to be doing it. Many of the rulings are coming out. It's sad to see a few of the left-wingers, 4-3 votes or 5-2 votes, whatever, having these hardcore progressives still siding with ridiculous policy. But here's this woman, a Supreme Court justice, goes to talk about her book and do things and gets totally attacked by the liberal media. I found it appalling, especially when they very well might save this country. So that's what's been on my mind.
Yeah, Nora O'Donnell. It was just unwatchable. Yeah. The more I watched it, and I happened to, and Molly Hemingway wrote a great piece in the Federalist that I actually shared that I didn't see till after I had just watched it. I just watched all 54 minutes of Nora O'Donnell interviewing ACB, and then I saw that article, and she was spot on. I just couldn't believe it as I was watching it, just sitting there with just her just oozing out of her ideology in her questions and her attacking her just constantly. So
it wasn't news. It wasn't reporting, and it wasn't an interview.
No, of course not. All right, very good. Delgado, what's left in the headlines? I haven't seen anything else on this.
No, me either. Nothing on Poland, nothing on drones, nothing on Russia. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if the president makes any statements. In the meantime, liberal billionaire and president wannabe Mark Cuban got exposed as a virtue signaling fraud. I don't know if you saw this, Damon.
I did.
He was on the All In podcast. He was confronted by his own words, basically, from one former news media, current media mogul, former Fox News host, Tucker Carlson, who confronted him during the panel discussion. Check this out. This is cut number one. As they discuss Ukraine, Mark Cuban is asked if he supports, money going to Ukraine. Here's what he had to say.
Mark, let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine or not? Were you in favor of that?
Man, they need it.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a good answer. I can make an argument both ways, and half my family is Ukrainian from my grandparents. And so, personally, I think we should help, but I don't have a studied answer for you.
How much money have you sent to Ukraine?
None.
Oh, so what do you mean by we? You're the one whose family's from Ukraine. Why don't you send them $1 billion?
Because I'm trying to fix health care.
Why don't you fix their health care if you're so deep? If you think we need to help, why don't you start? How about you first? Yeah. I notice that's never even an option for anybody. It's we need to help. That's not what charity is. Forcing other people to help is not charity.
Here's the good vanity. News. The good news is all the weapons were on loan lease. We're getting it back. And our dear President
Trump
to Mark Cuban has negotiated that we own half the minerals. So he turned this horrible tragedy of a war into a profit center, which is one of his unique gifts. I think we can all agree.
Right. Can I just? Yeah. It's just amazing.
Good.
We need to send more money. We should help.
Cuban. I would have advised Mr. Cuban if I was one of his advisors when they said, "Yeah, come on the podcast. You're going to be sitting with Tucker." I would have said,
"Pass
Mark,
on that.
You may not be ready for that."
Yeah,
I've got a cold.
And finally, Damon, Phillies Karen mania has taken the world by storm as the unidentified Phillies fan went viral for stealing the home run ball from Harrison Bader from a small child, South Jersey resident Drew Fatwell, who snagged it for his son, of course. while celebrating his 10th birthday at the Phillies-Marlin game over the weekend. Since then, the Phillies' Karen has been the center of attention, even more recently with this one, cut number 7. She is the most Karen woman in the world. Check it out, cut 7.
She was born with a complaint form in her hand. She's been divorced more times than she's been married. She doesn't leave tips, she leaves suggestions. She steals baseballs from 10-year-old kids and then complains about how spoiled kids are these days. She is raising her kids to be Reddit moderators one day. Her voice hasn't dropped below 85 decibels her entire life. She once won an argument with a manager at a restaurant she wasn't even eating at. She calls the cops on kids' lemonade stands for not having a permit. She actually changed her name to Karen. She asks to speak to the manager before the store is even built. She gets the same haircut every week and still complains to the manager about it every time. She wears a mask in her car, alone. She is the most Karen woman in the world.
And there you have it, Damon. As Karen Mania has taken the world by storm.
She was offered $5,000. She offered $5,000 for the baseball from a trading card company, and
That's right.
Blowout Sports. And they offered her $5,000, but she hasn't answered yet. They wanted her to autograph the baseball and give that to them so they could give it back to the kid. But I don't see that happening.
The only thing we didn't have time to get to tonight was the jobs, the U.S. Labor Department. Number one, proving President Trump right once again. 911,000 jobs that the Biden administration told us they had created in their last year in office did not exist. It is a 51% revision. It is the biggest revision since 2000 in U.S. history, since the year 2000. And it just proves what an absolute mess President Trump walked into even before the tariffs went into place. The labor market was essentially frozen when he got into town. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. EJ and Tony needs to be rushed through the Senate quickly to get him over to BLS. As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, all emergency personnel. Thanks, guys, on the show. Vinnie Mac, thanks. See you back here. Aaron Frank, great job as always. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night back here live from Studio 6B.